Hello, everyone. Okay, one sec. Actually, let me actually my camera is very messed up for some reason. There's a way I went to like play around with the settings, so my head is always big in meetings now. Let me try to like reduce that. Okay. Yeah, I think this is good.
Give
Um,
me 1 second.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah.
This is actually a screenshot worthy moment. Let me screenshot this. This is amazing. Then we'll go to like introductions and stuff. This is like very nice. Okay, nice. Oh wait, it's recording? No, it's screenshots. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Just be me being. Uh, yeah. Okay. Capture us. Yep. Awesome. So I can hear myself doing the background. Somebody watching us live. Okay. Welcome everybody. Welcome
Yeah, I
to
think it's from my other
another.
device.
Okay. Hello everybody. Welcome to this
I'm not sure
Saturday.
I can hear you guys. Let me
Oh, you
see what's
can't.
going on over here.
Um, can you hear me,
Uh,
Manu?
I think I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
no.
Jimo, why can't you hear us? But you could hear me now when I said
Mm.
I can hear myself. You can just switch your um sounds. Check your
Now try
sounds or
to
something.
reconnect your audio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
Okay, awesome.
I can hear you guys now.
Um, okay, awesome, nice, great. Hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of our live stream. Saturday edition this time. Of course, those Saturdays. But like this time we have like a guest. Today. So this is my left here. So the left side of my sorry, this is my right side of the screen actually on the screen, but this is my left. I don't know. Cameras are weird. But yeah, this is the right side of my screen.
Yeah.
I have, and I have Jumo. We have Jumo in the house. Today we are talking about STREAM2PEER. We're building like a state machine in JavaScript. It's going to be an exciting episode. And I would employ you to like stay to the very end. Because you definitely enjoy it and get the value. For this. Yeah, introductions. Hi, I'm Tobiloba. I'm software engineer, developer, relations engineer, and I love streaming, and I've been in tech for like 3 years now, and I very much like building the public and open source. To the left side of my screen is Emmanuel.
Yeah. Hi guys. So my name is Emmanuel, software engineer, and yeah, been coding for a while now, and yeah, enjoying every moment while it lasts, and every every debugging process that goes along. So yeah, happy to be here today, and um, I'm looking forward to this one, as we have a special guest with us. And yeah, I'll just allow him take the reins. So no, let me do the pointing now. This is like my right on the screen, yeah, far right, yeah. So yeah, Jumo.
All right.
Jumo, can you hear us?
Good day, everyone.
Okay,
From Jumo. Yeah, I can hear you guys. Yeah. So good day, everyone. To everyone
Yeah.
listening. I'm Jumo, and I'm a software engineer for a while. Yeah, I'm excited to be with you guys today, and look forward to what we can talk about and showcase here in the stream today.
awesome.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, like first, like before we like dive into what we are like doing in general, stream to peer like with the early release like opinions. I want to hear like you guys' opinions. Like live now on stream. Of course, we've talked about it in the corners and when we're doing our overnights and back to back consecutive overnights to like get this out. But I want to, I want to like get your opinions
Um,
here. Like both of you, anybody can start first. But like what did you just general talk. What did you feel like and yeah and yeah what did you feel like like going through the process of like building it from scratch and then eventually like launching it to like a very community um receptive community what's the word I'm looking for Yeah, it's a very receptive community, I guess, because everybody was excited that we launched something uh, called decentralized streaming. So yeah, like
Mm.
once you
Yeah, I think I would allow Jumo to go first. But before he goes, I would like to put it out there that Jumo had the most contributions on the repo. So
yes.
he's a top guy. Yeah. So Jumo, please take the
No, no,
reins.
no, no. These guys are whining me. All right. So yeah, thank you very much. So I mean, as you guys know, like we've been working on Stream to Play for a while, actually, and Stream to Play is now something we're working on to make it huge. It's bigger than ourselves. We want something that can be able to give service to a lot of creators out there, and also see how they could also like generate revenue for themselves, and also speak to their audience in a much more organized way, right? So a lot of ideas have been put into this project and a lot of things that we've really put in mind. Right now, we have not done a lot of features that we have in mind yet, but right now we're kind of in the beginning stage of the project, and we look forward to how we can do a lot of stuff in the coming weeks. And like together with CEO Ima and then Toby himself, like we've been a lot of like calls overnight trying to understand what's going on over here, what's going on over there, right? Trying to understand what issues are, trying to put minds, like we put our heads together. You know, there are times when like ideas just come up and you're like, oh my God, like, wow, this is what we can do, right? So we just get so excited. I mean, this is a project that we didn't think that maybe it would become something that we want to make it so huge. But as ideas keep on like dropping in, we're like, no, no, this is not just a side project anymore. This is something that we are going to like put in a lot of time into, put in a lot of effort. And of course, we're excited for what the future holds for us in Stream to Pair projects.
Amazing, amazing. That sounds like a motivational speech. Like I wanted to motivate myself
Yeah.
to build more.
And yeah, and I like the fact he kept it short and simple.
Yeah, and straightforward. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's
Amazing,
nice.
amazing.
So
So
yeah.
yeah, go ahead, ma.
Yeah, so I mean Juma has said like almost what there is to say sharp, but just to chip in like a few things. So I remember initially when we had the idea, right? And we had this discussion with LifePay, right, to sort of work together with them on this project. And yeah, I remember then uh the idea just came from this live stream, right? So we thought that, oh, since we have this weekly live stream going on, right? And for this live stream, we had to rely on StreamYard, right? So we thought, oh, what if there was an opportunity for us to sort of like build something, right? Build a solution that we ourselves are going to use. Because while we use StreamYard, why it is great, there are other things, I mean, that we would have loved to like have on the platform, right?
As features. Yeah.
Like exactly as features, like more interactions and stuff. So we thought of those things. I was like, oh, why not take this together and build up something of our own, right? And yeah, that's where the whole thought came from. And actually, when we started it, I didn't see it as something that much of a big deal, right? I only saw it as, oh, just something we could just do, okay, and let's just experiment. And as time went by, ideas came in, new things started popping up. Yeah, and then we started seeing the bigger picture that, oh, this could actually be like a game changing
Mm.
stuff, right? So it went from just a side project, right, to like solve if you issues or features you'd have loved to be on StreamYard. It went from there and to like something whole lot bigger than that. And yeah, as Juma said, we have like a lot more work to put in, right? So this is just like a kind of like a early release. So we still have like a lot planned out in our roadmap. So yeah, very excited for this. And sure, definitely looking forward to where this one takes us to. And also, yeah, Jumo, I want to give hype to Jumo. So Jumo is a guy that might Jumo we think about something now,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, oh, this thing could work out. He doesn't hesitate, immediately he calls you. Like it doesn't even text you, it calls you directly that, yeah, what's up? What do you think about this? What if we do this and do this and yeah, so Jumo is a really awesome guy. So yeah, I just had to put
Yeah,
that there.
agreed.
So
Yeah, plus one.
Mm,
that's about
yeah.
it for me.
Yeah.
So Toby, you got
Mm, mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let,
So
let me
Um. Uh,
just say something like before Toby chips in.
uh, yeah.
Okay, so what I just wanted to chip in was like a very, very popular quote from Mark Zuckerberg. Just like Iman said, like if I have when the ideas just come up, I'm like excited to like discuss it because he said something that is very, very popular. And he said ideas don't come out fully formed; they only just become clearer when you work on them. But you just have to get started. So I think with Stream to Pair, with what we've gotten started with and the ideas we have in mind, we are looking forward to what we can be able to implement based on the things we've been able to think about and the things that are possible, right? So yeah,
yeah,
all right, over to you, Toby.
yeah, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. So like building Stream to Beer was sort of like it was amazing because we started off I would say pretty slow. I mean, we obviously like had other things that we were working on and stuff. But then we're like, yeah, the idea of like actually launching an open source project was something that we played around with a lot, and we're like, oh, eventually we actually need to like have our own project out there that would like be building and stuff. But then we got a connect. We got a live peer a live peer builder grant. I was like the start of like something great. And then the idea like hit us because Emmanuel and I have been like doing Saturday streams, from StreamYard, and we're like, why don't you like build something of the sort and leverage their network to sort of like achieve, streaming. My camera is blurring. So like achieve streaming, um, like sort of like an open source decentralized version of what they have, but like make it much better. And that was where the idea came from, and we just started like building. We didn't even like look back. Eventually, initially we started with, like Svelte on the front end, and that went as Svelte kit actually. That went on for a while because like we're pretty slow at the start, and like okay, we went back and forth. And we brought Jumo on the team. Jumo started back end working instantly, and we started like graphing out, mapping our ideas and like, okay, this is what we want. These are the features, these are the modules and stuff. And eventually, we realized pretty quickly actually that a lot of the work, from the SDKs and stuff, was like React based, and we're like, oh shit. But then we hadn't gone too far, and we just like went back and like, okay, let's take a step back and like see what we can do here. And so that was where we went. That was how we went on to like moving. We basically like wrote the entire code base from Svelte kit to React, and and that went on pretty smoothly actually, like a couple of hours. And yeah, from then on, it was just features upon features upon pages upon features upon logic and UI fixes and everything. And it went pretty smoothly. Obviously, we didn't write like the perfect and best code because we're just trying to get to work. But yeah, I would say I feel pretty good about the project, the teamwork, the communication, and everything. And that was what motivated us having a Discord community because we want to build it in public, and we think it's going to be a good idea to have like a community backing behind the project so that the community
Mm-hmm.
is in the building process. I mean, to like sort of set in the open source spirit instead of it having to be something that some bunch of guys are just like deciding. So we found the Discord community. You can join. I'll probably drop a link in the chat. But yeah, like Stream2PEER is awesome. We're going places for sure. And at the moment, we're just like shilling code and like making optimizations, doing rewrites, and maybe not rewrites, just like refactors actually, and just making things better. So expect by this month, expect a newer maybe V1 proper release of Stream2PEER with like more features and fixes and imparts. We got your complaints. Everybody complained about certain things, and we got your complaints. We are actually actively working on them. I can also create issues on our repo as well. I'll drop links to those actually in the chat in a bit. And Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think for my own end, because I think this could actually morph into something pretty great. That we would be working on in public, and have so many people sort of improve their experience or board so many people into streaming, because streaming is fun, building in public is fun, and stream to peer is that is what we are all about. We just want to give you a platform where you can just do that easily in like a couple of clicks. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
awesome,
what I would
awesome.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
So
Okay.
yeah, I like to like buttress on the community aspects that Toby talked about. So basically, we don't want stream to peer to just be some random guys just came up with something they feel that makes sense, right? So we also want the project to be community centric, right? So we're building something that the people are going to use. So if the people are going to use it, they have to have like a say on how it's built. So that's uh basic principle we're going to like carry on from now on. So we're not just bringing out stuff. So if you, I don't know if Toby has linked the Discord,
Yeah,
says
I'm
the
linking
link to
them
the
now.
Discord. Yeah. So if you join the Discord, you can come on the Discord. We have several channels, talk about stuff, your experience, what you feel like uh, stream to peer should be, or what you think stream to peer can like help you in whatever means. Probably a streamer or something, or you just want to start streaming. How you think stream to peer will be of help and all those things. So that's the main reason for the Discord. So yeah, so I don't know if Jumo, you have something to say. You want to chip in something?
Yeah. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good for my end.
Okay. Okay. So Toby, I don't know, do you have the
But I mean, like, okay.
okay, you want to say something, Jumo?
No, no, you can go on. You can go on.
Okay, okay. So I was saying, Toby, can you like share um can you share the what's it called? The roadmap kind of stuff we had on GitHub.
Roadmap, or do you mean like um release notes?
Yes, release notes.
One sec, let me just share my screen.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we
trying to
can just walk
comment
through.
the website. Yeah. Amazing work across the board, honestly. Because we really cooked. Uh, yeah. Just one sec to share my screen. Okay, so I'm sharing this screen. It's not. Yep. Present. Share screen. Share screen one. No. Actually, just a screen two. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Uh,
Awesome. So yeah, release
Yeah.
notes. Yeah, I just okay. This was a very fun. What I would call it sprint or couple of how long was that? Is there like time tags here? Okay, there's no time tag. But like I don't know. Yeah, it definitely took a lot of PRs because there's this like pattern rising on the repo where somebody on the team has to review your PR before it gets merged in. So
mhm.
yeah, you may actually see like yeah, a bunch of PRs here. So there's no like direct push to main that we can sort of track. So like several branches that was deleting a couple of them some days back. There's the full change log here. So it sort of like has the entire like commits and stuff. But yeah, back here. So what's changed? Remove node modules, please. This one was actually a very fun one because in the initial push that we had, I think it was this Svelte kit. I forgot to actually add the node modules and a bunch of other things like my git ignore. So so when I committed and pushed, that's what went in. add Svelte front end, like I said, started Svelte kit and everything. So yeah, yeah, I just like created the repo and everything. I just like pushed it there. Emmanuel, your PR is here. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. I think okay, that was my first push. That was like when we were still using Svelte kit. Uh, so I done the layout of the dashboard. So all these stuffs were things we went back and like started again with React.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that
So
was the fourth one. Yeah, migrate. Mhm.
yeah. So then eventually, the migration started. I wrote everything from Svelte kit to React, and from maybe from scratch or not, it wasn't maybe, yeah, it was actually from scratch actually, because we set up the entire code base, and um yeah, you have to like convert these Svelte elements, Svelte components rather, or the Svelte files, Svelte kit files, to like actually to actual React components and GSX and everything. So I mean, it wasn't
Mhm.
probably wasn't like that much work because you already had the HTML. You just had to convert to GSX. We had to like manage things like
Yeah.
states and everything like in the React way and everything. And then the auth pages came in. That's like the login, and we actually started with a different pattern, like login and sign up. Um, but then we like sort of followed a different pattern when Jumo brought the idea of having like a code be sent to your email. I mean, that sort of like eliminated the need for like sign up in general. So it's just signing. So
Yeah.
there's no need to like sign up or anything. You just like sign in and
Mm,
go straight
yeah, cool.
to like logging in and
Mm,
everything. The readme contributors guideline and everything, issue templates. This was probably, I think this was all of my Oktoberfest PRs actually. I think everything from here to here was like all of my Oktoberfest PRs. I had like 8 Oktoberfest
mm.
contributions. That was when we like made the group for Oktoberfest enabled. Yeah, it was like I had like 8 or 6, or I think it was 8, around 8 or 11. Yeah, probably that jump. I mean, I made it jump there, but like I think that was the count. So yeah, custom colors. You want to talk about
Uh, yeah. Okay. So I think that was when we started deciding what colors and what colors we wanted to retain on the app. So once we got the color, so because we didn't have like a UI UX designer per se, right? So
that?
most of the design we had they were not designed or something by somebody. There was no Figma link essentially. So most of what we had was just a combination of take a thing from here and that. So when we decided the colors, so we needed to like add those colors as custom colors basically. So we have like a primary color, we have this, we have secondary, all those type of things. So it makes it easy when you're building your layout. Just pick those colors based on how you want the layout to look like. So that's what the PR was for, I guess. Yeah. So
Awesome, awesome,
implementing,
awesome.
yeah, implementation of authentication and project
Jumo,
modules. Yeah. So this one was where
Jumo's
I
first PR with over 100, and I remember the PR. I just woke up at midnight. That I just got a text, and Jumo was like, Alpha, I don't push code to, I don't push backend." I was like, okay, let me go and check now. Like I'll just review and move on. I think it was something like 130 something
Oh my
commits
God.
changes. No, 130 something changes actually. I just went to the PR changes. Like there's a tab on GitHub where you can see changes. I just saw 130. I said, bro, like, what's this, bro?
it was like Juma brought in an already existing code base and like splashed it on top.
My God, I was like, damn, it's reviewing this.
I mean, I mean, it was a lot.
Oh my
So yeah,
God.
you got
I just had to like just push down on the one because I was adding a lot of features to it. So I wasn't committing my changes while I was working. So I just kept on working. Things were popping up in my head. I was fixing things, making changes. So the more I was fixing things, refactoring and all that, I didn't even have the mind of committing my changes as I was working. So I just wanted to make sure I worked up to a point that I did a lot of stuff that I was comfortable with. Then I just pushed. So I made sure I did like I pushed the foundational part of what I was working with or starting out with.
Yeah, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when we had to review the PR, we had to like we had to
We have
like
to
come
come
together
together
and say,
physically and sit down together
yeah,
like
we had to
in
sit
person.
down and
No
we
over the
reviewed.
wire communication. It had to be together. We had to sit down together and like review because, bro. Yeah. Fun. It was
We
very
did
fun
that
though.
too.
Um.
Yeah.
So Emmanuel, yeah, next PR yours.
Yes. The network. So we initially started with context, right, for state management. So at the point, we were not really thinking because, as I said, we didn't start. I mean, it did not start as like a huge thing. So we just said, oh, you know what? Let's just spin up um, context, right, for state management for now. And the network setup was basically like XUs, interceptors, and all those things for API
Mm-hmm.
request and stuff. So I made all those
Mm-hmm.
ones down. So once I pushed that, it was easier for us to like start making API calls to the back end,
Yeah.
storing data and stuff with the context. So, but we later, Toby later revised this to Substand, which I mean is far and much more better than, yeah.
Yeah.
So with the context at that
Yeah.
time was costing like too many renders.
Renders. Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't really good to
And
go with.
yeah, Zostand is so good. I basically just like wrote the states that I wanted and the setters for them directly
Mm-hmm.
like in the setup of the Zostand store. And everything was like just seamless. You didn't need a higher level wrapper and everything.
Mhm.
And their docs was pretty much super helpful. So it was just like easy setup. And I'm even working on the theme provider at the moment. And I migrated the theme provider essentially from context. And now the theme provider works in fully Zostand now. And that's coming in my draft PR. I have that in like as a draft PR at the moment. So the theme provider was written the theme essentially was like written in full Zostand. So that'll be coming like soon in a bit. And you'll be seeing some like UI changes and everything. So essentially we have to like go a different route because we have two front ends, like the landing page and the app itself. So we have to go and deploy both of them on Fleek as separate deployment because we wanted to like launch, like we just had to launch because we knew if we did not launch, the product is probably going to enter next year. So we just had to like say, okay, like let's drop an early release and let's do this in public. So that was the idea really. So now there's a new PR coming in where we're merging the front end and having one single deployment. We set up a mono repo as well. I forgot to talk about that. So we use like PMPM's workspace to like set up a mono repo. I could have used Bond too, but I just felt we just felt like the PMPM one was like much more, I mean, PMPM is still like kind of how would I put it? Much more would I say is bigger or would I'm not talking about stability because I know Bond is stable as well now, but like PMPM was just more like an easy route or something. Both of them are easy, but PMPM was much more like I don't know, relatable, I guess is the word for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like setting up a mono repo was just sort of like the go-to here. Because wanted the entire code base to be like in one concise thing and it's actually clean. The way we set it up was like super clean. It's like front end, back end, and then just like
And
all
we had
separated and
like
stuff.
I think Toby wrote like a full on the README, like a full guide on how to like set up. We even
Set
tagged
stuff,
like
yeah.
a link. Yeah. So once you want to contribute, it's easier for you to like set up and get it up and running.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
awesome.
So yeah, just install PNPM globally and just get it running. We even wrote scripts from the roots, like so you can just like PNPM dev front end, PNPM dev back end. You don't even have to CD to the folder. You can just like run them, add your EMVs, and
exactly.
everything is working.
On the root
Yeah,
folder.
exactly.
Mm.
So
Mm.
update docs and stream tests. Essentially, like okay, this is just all you guys, like you, Emmanuel, and Emmanuel, Jumo. So maybe you guys want to talk about all these changes.
I think Jumo, go first. Update docs. I think that one was for like the Postman documentation. I think so.
Actually,
That
that
was just the
Postman
first
docs. That Postman docs, Jumo, like I think we should actually go the Swagger route, or we can just work on like updating that docs better, like to have more details and stuff. Or what do you mean?
Yeah,
or what do
sure,
you think,
sure. To
rather?
have more context. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's one
I
of
think
the things
Postman
we'll be
offers.
working on. I'll be working on.
Yeah, I think Postman offers a website like deployment option for you to like they help you deploy like your docs as a website or something that people can use.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if
yeah.
that, yeah, it's like, yeah, that's something we should definitely like look at doing.
So basically, you can just have it like online. People can be able to people
View,
can be
yeah.
able to make use of it
Access.
online. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
correct.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah,
Then
stream test.
stream test. I think this was the first time I added the FPL SDK, right, for the streaming. So I wanted to test how the SDK works essentially. So I think we needed some there are some keys and stuff you needed from live pair to get it running. So I think this was more of like a simple setup to get to know. And I think at that point I was reading live peer docs a lot at that point. So I just needed to know, okay, what are the things we are going to need and how are we going to be implementing stuff to get this streaming part of the app, yeah, of the application working. So I think that was what the PR was about. And the implementation of
Mm-hmm.
stream module by Jumo. Okay, Jumo, you want to?
Yeah, the stream model basically. Yeah. So that was just like where the big thing was. That's where the big thing actually started, right? So that's when we had to like
Okay.
start seeing how we could support different platform, and also working with the live PSDK basically for us to stream and for basically creators to be able to stream. Anyone can jump on and stream, and also the fact that we try to see other platforms and how we could be able to support those platforms to serve as multi-streaming platforms, right? So that was just basically what we worked on in the streams module. I mean, we tried to see how we could support platforms like Twitter as well. Right now, we can support Twitch and YouTube, right? Although there are some fixes
Yeah.
we are working on right now to rectify the issue with YouTube API. But what we're also looking to expand to is platforms like X, so that's basically formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and basically just platforms that support RTMP, right? So RTMP is just basically technology for any platform to receive stream data from another platform. So that's just basically the idea. So any platform that supports RTMP is basically the platform we can be able to multi-stream to. So if they accept stream data from our platform, basically from the LiveSpear's SDK, of course, we can be able to support multi-streaming on those kind of platforms. So LiveSpear basically just gives us that abstraction. So that was just more of summary of what we worked on in the beginning, the first phase of the implementation of the streams module.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice
Awesome.
work though.
Awesome.
Nice work on
Awesome.
that though.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I remember the first time I tested the stream and I was able to connect. I was like, wow, wow, wow. Yeah, it was really
I remember that night.
yeah. Because up until that
Exciting,
time
right?
it was yeah, up until that time it was just it would work if you do this, it will work. We've not seen
It's
it
so
actually.
boring,
Actually,
and it's
this
seeing
was
few.
this
Yeah.
was the night. Actually, this was the night, Steph. Because look at my commit here. That time I got motivated. Look at my this was the night.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, I remember.
It
So
was
yeah,
after
it
the
was even
stream test.
recently. Yeah. So oh yeah, so I see my own update Twitch. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. So we got this one to work after, let me see, update authentication endpoints to use correct. Okay, this was made by Jumo. Update us controllers. Okay. Yeah, so this was where Jumo added the Twitch support. And I just got a call from Jumo that night.
Okay.
I was like, what's up?
Yeah,
I
now
just did the
let's go.
Twitch.
Let's go.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I just did. I mean, I was outside and I didn't know how to tell him that, bro, just can you not wait tomorrow or something? I was like, can you just test Twitch? And I mean, there's the docs are ready already. Just get it and test it and let me see what you get. So immediately I was just forced. Even though I was reluctant that night, I just said, you know what, let me just go and test this thing out. And I went and I tested it, and it worked at first, right? So I was like, oh, wow, you're actually streaming on Twitch. So I think me and Jumo was on the call that night when we tested it, and yeah, we're like, wow, wow. And then I think I buzzed Toby immediately that, oh, Toby, what's up? Oh, we got this thing to work with Twitch. And Toby was like, seriously? I said, yes, now we did. Me and Juma was on the call not long ago. And and Toby immediately just said, you know what, let me go and pick my laptop. That was when you added this hot flow and primary. I was like, you know what, I'm very motivated tonight. And then, yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
And
Yeah.
exciting. It was an exciting couple of.
that's the joy and pleasure you got from it. Nothing work.
It was an exciting moment. It was an exciting moment because at the time I was like I mean N our like shout out to N. N was like talking about us like dropping updates on what we built so far, and we're like, oh damn, we actually have like a couple of things we're working on, and just like seeing that, and odds was like sort of like something that does that we needed on the front end to just basically will make everything working, because with odds you actually are getting a user to get their data in, but not so much data, just an email and the maybe some tokens or something, just to like make them make us know that the user is legit, and then we can allow them to connect to their platforms and everything. So well, just something that like I was excited, like, okay, let me just actually go and do this. We added the private routes, everything was working as it should. You didn't have token, you get directed outside. All these things was just like super exciting. Then we added the cohorts flow for Google and GitHub as well. It was a great learning experience though, because there were some things there that I hadn't actually had experience implementing myself. But like just getting that flow to work, which is one of the things that I would greatly commend STREAM2PEER for, like personally, as a software engineer. It was basically like making me try those things that I never would have thought that I'll be implementing from scratch. Managing myself and stuff. I mean, us using React sort of like was on the front end, at least, was sort of like a challenge to ourselves. Like, okay, let's actually build this thing from scratch. Bare bones, manage things here by ourselves. And we actually checked performance online, was like pretty good, and we're like, okay, yeah, we can make improvements here and there. Yeah, it was great. Like, honestly, like, yeah, like I would just say like it's amazing.
Yeah.
And
I wish we
yeah,
could.
great night. Great night.
Yeah. I wish we could like see like a timeline of these PRs, and you'll be able to see that the PRs were like back to back. Like it was like they're coming in like every day, back to back. We were just stacking up. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was
we're
really
building
awesome.
agile. We're building agile.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
agile development.
somebody has a question.
Yeah.
Well done, guys. Great job. I'm ML based. Can you relate your work to ML ops in AI? Yeah. Great question, best man. AI is something that we're actually like exploring. That was something something that we're actually exploring for like STREAM2PEER. There's like video
Yeah.
manipulations, with AI, or video, just like anything with like video or media manipulation or anything of the sorts. Maybe captions, or would it be closed
Yeah,
captioning,
yeah.
that is, or would it be what else is like background, auto background, or something like stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I think Live PL has a couple of like a couple of things in their AI video SDK that we'll be experimenting with as well, just to like try to build into. So StreamToPeer is in the Live PL ecosystem at the moment. I mean, as of now, nobody knows tomorrow, but like at the moment, we're like still building. We're building StreamToPeer essentially like from everything that they have. And I like the idea that we built it with, because you won't actually know StreamToPeer is backed by a Web3 network or infra, because we didn't actually like shout it in your face that we are using Web3. So you actually StreamToPeer actually works on like Web3 infra, but yeah, we are not like, it's amazing though. And AI is something we're definitely leveraging maybe V2 or something. But V1, we're basically just like doing preparing right now at the moment. We're preparing like a V1 release, a proper release where we like can have people onboarded on the platform. And I'm actually excited that we have over 20 users already signed on the
Yeah.
platform, which I think is exciting. And something that yeah, definitely
Over 20.
is
Over
motivating.
20.
Yeah, over 20, amazing, amazing.
Mm.
Jumo, okay,
The
I just
next
showed you
stop
like
is
two
100.
PRs, two PRs for, of course, actually two PRs from Jumo here. We can talk about it.
Mm. So even before like I speak on the PR though, I just wanted to like just chip in one thing for best man up. So nice, great question there. So as Toby has said, the live PA network is something we're also working on leveraging as well. You mentioned the caption. So whatever you are going to be streaming your content to users or basically your viewers. So just for an example, imagine someone who is speaking from Japan, basically someone who is basically giving some content because I've watched videos, especially on LinkedIn, where the person is speaking a different language, but like there's no caption to let me understand what this person is essentially saying. So imagine this person having a live stream event in real time and you want to learn, but of course, language is a barrier there. So in that kind of case, we could give you this. We have this action that live peer AI network basically we can be able to leverage, and also you can be able to read the captions just as the person is speaking is speaking via his stream project. And also to add to it is we also have the text. We also have the text to audio. So text to audio as well also works. So imagine also in real time if while you are able to see the text, you could also hear like a translation of what the person is saying via the text, basically the caption. I'm not going to promise you it's 100% perfect. Everything is in work, everything is still in progress. But these are just some of the features we'll be looking at in the nearest future, right? So we just want to be able to give an experience that's so much unique to every other streaming platform and make us like stand out in the world of streaming. So I don't know if I've
Yeah,
done justice for best man,
yeah, great answer actually. I want to quickly give a shout out to Emmanuel Abel. He's been like super active in the community. We gave him the streamer
Yeah.
role because he was like the first person that joined the server. Shout out to Emmanuel Abel. He's doing like really great. Even with like I think he has an issue and he commented on an issue that I saw yesterday and he made a PR as well. So he's like really active. He's like the ideal open source guy. So so shout out to him and yeah,
Yeah.
for all the
Yeah.
work he's doing for on STREAM2PEER.
Mm.
Yeah,
Cool,
so
cool. The
Jumo.
guy's energy is out there.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, on the PRs for the user profile data and email signing workflow. So basically, when I was basically working with YouTube's API, Twitch API, and I looked at various other APIs as well, I understood that we have tokens that we use. So we have the access token, basically unique tokens for each user on the platforms. And for us to be able to give users the seamless way of helping them create streams on this multi streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, and the rest, we had to get a new access token because the access token we generate at the point of signing or at any point in time would expire at any point. I mean, if you are very familiar with things like tokens, JWT, JSON Web Tokens, things like that, they expire after some time. So we needed to use what we call the refresh tokens. The refresh tokens basically help us to generate new access tokens so we can gain access to the user's account, so we can help them to create a new stream via our platform, basically a seamless way of creating a new stream on their platform. We generate a stream key on the platform using the account. And then, of course, like PF helps with the whole abstraction of helping to send the stream data across via the RTMP technology to whichever platform that is being supported on the on Stream2PEER.
Yeah. And then email signing, I think that was something I prompted.
Okay,
Because it
sorry.
was something
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Email. Okay, okay, yeah, cool. I just wanted to tip in on that because the email signing workflow was
Yeah.
actually a different thing as well, just like you were about to say,
Mm,
because that was just for um
mm.
the signing to just make a process seamless. If users were not going to use the Gmail, they were not going to use the GitHub signing, they could basically just use the email signing workflow. That was it.
Yep,
I like
yep,
how
yep, yep.
I like how simple the email works actually.
You
You just
get, you
open your
get.
email and then you get a one-time password input and you're good to go. Like very, very seamless and simple.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Um, yes, next PRs are actually mine because you can see like I had a follow-up PR after Jumo added in the email thing. Uh, so I was going to show this on the screen, a banner. Uh, and we'll be building. Sorry, I have bad grammar, and we will be building a state machine. I can just scroll this across the bottom, I guess. Save. Sure. Yeah, I mean just scroll this across the bottom like that. Yeah, so actually these are like really cool features you could add to like STREAM2PEER. But yeah, so add email odds. So email odds, the landing page, a couple of build issues when I was trying to like deploy the front end of the landing page, because the landing page was the first thing we deployed. So after adding mails, I was like, oh, okay, let's go, let's go. So then I went on to like, okay, deploying the front end, and we were able to like get things working there. And I added in the open graph images and everything, just for, like the metadata of the like page for the landing page and everything. And that was super seamless. I put the like OG image on Cloudinary, set up the metadata for like the front end, the landing page I use, and that was like, yeah, we got that working. Eventually Emmanuel started adding things like the icons, and setting up the logos properly, because we had our own logo sort of like ideated. Shout out to Oro. She's like an amazing designer.
Yeah.
She helped us out with that. And yeah, like that was like really great, because the logo and everything that just happened, we didn't really like do much. There wasn't much okay, let's start building a design system. There wasn't really anything of this sort. We just wanted to build and get it working. And that's sort of like indie vibe, and like builder vibe just like sort of got everything working together. And that was amazing. um
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, a couple of other build issues and everything. uh we've talked about migrating to Zustand for like state management and sentence casing, all that things. Let me look for another major. Yep. So YouTube multi-stream support. Essentially everything we have here. Maybe Jumo and Emmanuel wants to talk about what they added in here. See, the others are like other
I
launch
think
stuff.
yeah. I think the okay add landing. I think one. I don't know which one. I think it was the one. The one on like the add landing that came first. I'm not sure, but I think one was for the animation on the landing page that I did. So I think that day I was so tired that day and I had slept. I said I was going to work on it like in the morning or something. No, I was not able to do that, so I slept. And in the evening, or yeah, it was in the evening or in the afternoon, I just saw like Toby's missed call, 3 missed calls. I saw his message that how far have you gone? How far have you gone with what you said you wanted to work on? And I was like, shit. I was just
It was a
waking up
Sunday
like,
though. It was a
yeah,
Sunday.
I was like, no, I was just waking up. No, how did I, like, and that day I slept with just, I mean, I slept that I was just going to take a nap, just a few minutes, and then like power nap, like, that vibes. Just sleep small and then wake up. And the power nap ended up to be a
A
super power
full-fledged
nap.
sleep.
Like, I slept and then I just woke up like, oh shit. I just picked up my laptop. I said, you know what? Let me just quickly do this stuff and get it on with. I just quickly did the animations and stuff and then I pushed immediately. So I just called Toby that what's up? I just made a PR. And yeah, so from there were like a few issues initially. like a scroll an overflow issue, and I think
Yeah.
there was one other issue. Yeah, so I just checked it again and then like made changes and pushed. So that was how we got that one cleared out of the way. Uh, then YouTube support. So Jumo worked on the YouTube, yeah. So Jumo, you want to, yeah,
And the HTTP client service fix as well.
Yeah.
yeah,
We can. Oh, there's
Okay,
actually
yes.
there's actually another
Okay,
fix
so
here actually. Like three fixes,
yeah.
two fixes and one feature.
Mm-hmm.
mm, yeah, they are just a bit so for the fixes, especially with the HTTP clients. So it's just basically about like the parameters on like when you use the um Axios instances to like request. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Loud
yeah,
and
yeah.
clear.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear. We can hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
All right. So I was saying, yeah. So what I was saying was for the HTTP client side fix, it was just basically fixes on like the service instances for the Axios instance itself. So I was trying some things and I ignored basically, you know, the way bugs are like, right? You ignore some things, you overlook some things. So until when you like have
Yeah.
to do a lot of console.logs, I like what's going on here. So and then you have to like interpret the error messages and yeah, then you get to understand okay, maybe this is where the error is coming from. Because apart from like that itself, I had to do a lot of
Mm,
like calls in my terminal to at least just verify
mm,
that the tokens I was
yeah.
making calls with, like making requests to
Mm,
whatever APIs,
mm,
was actually valid and correct. So when I say that it's
mm,
valid and correct, I'm like, what's going on? So I just say that like the
mm,
parameters, I placed some parameters in the wrong way. So those are like one of the fixes. And same thing with the um YouTube multi-stream supports. I think okay, multi-stream support was just basically when we included YouTube as multi-stream, and then for the stream service fix, the stream service fix was just basically, of course, when we were able to support YouTube, we had to like consider some things that I didn't put in place initially to like support multiple accounts. Even right now, we're still fixing bugs right now. So yeah, so there are just some things that we may not be fully aware of until when you get into it and you're like, oh, you need to correct some things you did initially. So those are just some of the service fix from the stream module. Yeah, I think that was just it for that time span.
Yeah.
yep.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Jumo. Jumo is always there. Like each time I'm always like, maybe I run into
Yeah,
issues, on the front end or something. I just
I'm
call
not always
Jumo or
here.
text him. I just text him, I'll be
uh,
like, oh Jumo, what's up? Oh?" I just tell him
uh,
this stuff, and immediately Jumo will be like, can we jump on a call or something? Even me that called him for the issue, I wasn't even prepared to jump on the call. Yeah, but
uh,
that's show you how much Jumo has put into this stuff. Nice work, nice work.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice work.
Uh,
Amazing work actually.
sure
Um,
thing.
our 404 pages. Yeah, this was like
No.
us adding the 404 page. Like handling routes that like missed. We added the redirects. Just for like deployment things so that our pages won't break in prod. And like the routing, the
mhm.
in-app routing would work well. We updated metadata, like I mentioned. License. Yeah. Okay, this license one is actually funny because I kept going from like I remember Emmanuel was the one mentioning my peers. So I was like reading
Yeah.
licenses, and we have to release obviously, and we have to release with the license because I mean it's an open source project. So MIT license wasn't something we wanted to go with. We wanted it to be even if somebody forked the code, you had to keep it open source because we are building this like as an open source platform for everybody. We checked
Yeah.
I checked OBS. OBS had a as a GNU license, GPL one, a general public license, the 2.01. That was made in like 1994 or something. I think it was 1984 or 1994. And that one had like some restrictions because it wasn't very because the thing with licenses is that some licenses work with other licenses. So an MIT license now, which is like all access, can work with like say a GPL 3.0 or maybe a GPL can probably work with a BDS or ZBDF or something license, or there's a Creative Commons license as well, several other licenses like that. So we opted for like GPL2 first. I read the like terms. I thought they might have some like restrictions because we may install some packages where the GPL2 would not work with the license from that package. So we have to say, okay, let's do the GPL 3.0 because that was from like 2007, much more updated and everything. So yeah, that was the license back and forth and everything. And yeah, that sort of like was like the bulk of license work. So maybe Emmanuel and Jumo want to talk about their changes in this index.ts and this YouTube addition by Emmanuel. Jumo, you can talk about this. Your change is your change in index.ts. So the PR is updates index.ts. Oh, so it was just a console log. My bad. It was just a console log for what I'm looking at here. The change you made in the index.ts was just a console log. So maybe we can skip that. Iman, you can talk about I think YouTube and
Okay,
yeah, and then Jumo. I think Jumo will talk about this too. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, you did feed add to YouTube 2 times, and I did this destination criteria thing.
Okay. So I think the YouTube was after Juma was able to like add YouTube multi-streaming option on the back end. So immediately I went on to like test the YouTube. So it was very similar to Twitch, right? So they had like very similar approach. So it wasn't that
Interfaces.
yeah, so it wasn't that much stretch. So I tested the YouTube at first initially, and I think it worked, but there was like maybe there was like an issue, right, on how I was making the call back, right? So that's why I had to push again. But I think it worked the first time. So the only issue we had was the Google like trying to tell you that this is not safe, something. You need to. Are you sure you want to go on and save? Yeah. So that was what we had, but it was working. But I think we had a slight issue that I had to fix that made me like make another repush another change basically. So that was the YouTube. So the YouTube was more or less like the Twitch. So I just needed to like copy the same logic I had with Twitch, and then use it for the YouTube. So
Of course, that makes sense. Amazing. And then the private chat updating was just us like deciding because we had a flow initially, like this weird flow where we were like on login, we redirected the user back to the dashboard, and then we like do some sort of like use effect, eventually like make a callback request before then eventually logging you in. Then we realized that was weird, right? So we're like, okay, actually, why not like redirect user back to login? If you went with OAuth or something, because OAuth was what prompted us to do that. Because the provider, either Google or GitHub, would redirect you back to our own app. So on their own redirects back, we had to give them a page to redirect back to. And then we realized, okay, decided let's give them login and everything. And that was it. So for some people that may like be complaining about them having login issues, that's totally on render at the moment because we deployed the backend of render, and it's something we're like I'm working to migrate at the moment as I speak. A couple of other nice, amazing updates that will be coming up within this weekend or like or next week. So yeah, you've definitely been seeing like updates from us regarding like work on that end. So we're like migrating the backend entirely from render. We even went to like up to the point of subscribing, but apparently they still it still was giving issues and stuff. But with like some people not being able to log in because we had 25 users at the moment. I'm sure it could have been more that would but some were not probably able to sign in at all. So that's why we don't so we're working to fix that, and we'll definitely allow us maybe a minor, we'll probably launch a minor release or something so that people can like, or maybe a patch release so that people can like check it out and see that the fixes that they reported to us have been like worked on and and then we'll proceed on to like adding other features that we've added to our roadmap and everything. So yeah, that's definitely something we're like working on at the moment.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, render has this weird stuff of like delaying your request, right? So if you make a request
yeah, it's
initially,
it's depending states. Yeah.
yeah, so it kind of kills that request for a while before it eventually picks up. So we're looking to like migrate basically so that we don't have that issue of having to wait that long to get a response. So yeah.
Hmm. I agree. Definitely. So the rest of it was like us cleaning up the front end because we're about to like, bro, like let's launch this thing. This thing has to go out. So it was like an early
Mhm.
release, like you mentioned. Well, we wanted it to be out there so that people know we're building this. We've been building this in public. We didn't. We like managed to keep it low key throughout because we didn't want but we made the repo public, so a couple of people probably like noticed it that we've been working on that for some time, but like there was no official announcement, but we're just building in silence. We're like,
Mhm.
yeah, so now that we've gotten to a point where people can actually see things, why not publish it in public and have people and build it in public and like form a community around this while we build it so that
Yeah.
we are able to like build further and like build forward. So yeah, maybe Juma wants to talk about this entity update and validation. Um,
Okay. The thing you should be there. Yeah. Yeah. Can you click on the files changed? Or you can just ignore that. So the stream entity updates was just basically, I think, I'm not too sure about the exact change. But I mean, like overall, changes were just made based on how we wanted to support platforms. Okay, good, good. So basically, on how we wanted to support multiple platforms, and of course, it has to like be to be able to receive the correct data from the front end, and also because a stream could be able to support multi-platforms, basically we needed to include an array of like the platform types. So we'd have an array of like Twitch, YouTube, things like that. So
Mhm.
those are just part of the changes. So you can see basically you change from just an enum kind of type to an array type, basically. So we needed to support an array of multi-platforms. So that was just the major change we made about the stream entity and the validation there.
mm,
Yeah, and I
yeah.
think I remember
Mm.
this change had, I mean, it meant that I had to do like another change, right? To like accommodate when you are selecting the platform you want to stream across. So initially we had like one, so maybe you want to stream to Twitch, you have Twitch or YouTube, but now it now supports like multiple destinations at once. So you can select both YouTube and Twitch and you go live on both platforms. So I think that
Mm,
change sort of affected here also what I did on the front end.
Mm. Cool, cool stuff.
Yeah.
um, yeah, definitely. It was yeah, something that we needed to do because at the moment initially there was like the thing with like testing with just like streaming to like just one platform, but we needed to like stream obviously like we said multi-stream, it has to like go to multiple platforms, and that was what prompted the like final changes. I think this was like after we even launched. Yeah, all this ones came probably after we launched and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, we made our first. Wait, I made the first PR. That's crazy. And Emmanuel made the third PR. That was when he contributed, and Jumo made their first contribution on the 15th change in the repo. But Jumo was the
Yeah.
highest contributor, of course.
But he
So
ended up being so you see now this is where
let me hear this church, church,
Jide
church. Let me
Jide
hear
this
this church, church, church.
motivational speeches. It's not by who came last or something.
Let
You
me
have
hear
to
this
say
church, church, church.
no be by who do you see he came in the 15th, but he ended up being the one on the top of the contribution. So it should tell
Ah.
you something. Yeah. So don't give up. Don't give up, guys. Don't give up. Don't give up.
So yeah,
Mm.
yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was StreAM2PEER talk. This was amazing. Thank you, for joining like the first segment of our live stream.
Yeah.
As is customary with our live stream, we're going to be building. But StreamToPeer was fun. I mean, we built that like we didn't obviously like stream that like out there for you guys to see us building it, but like we were building that in silence. And like but now with the like latest release, you can actually watch us. You can actually follow up with us building StreamToPeer. Go to our repo, leave us a star. We have 22 stars. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to all of you for the 22 stars. Like it shows like that you're like supporting the work we're doing.
This
Which is
was
like
this
really
was team photo we took before the night of the launch.
yeah
Was it the night before the launch
yeah
or something?
Yeah,
yeah.
this
It's
was the
nice
night
for the
before the
lunch.
launch.
Uh,
So
We
yeah,
had a call for like good memories.
the entire day. We
Yeah.
were called for like the entire day, like true story, like from morning to like
goodness.
evening.
Devs can relate. Devs can relate. The day of your launch is when you begin to see new bugs
When
coming
you
from
start
the
seeing
grave, you know.
manifestation of new things.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a lot of work went into this, and it's something we intend to pursue long term, and keep building upon and stuff. Like showcasing to all of you out there that like building something that is open source and is free, that you can like leverage and like use for your own purposes. And the idea was just like onboard more people to like streaming and show them that you can actually stream from anywhere, anytime, any place, and still you don't need like that much complications to like stream. You just need to like get things done. There's definitely going to be a lot of PRs that we're pushing soon, basically improving the experience on the front end, optimizing the back end, and getting a new deployment so that we don't have to worry about all those issues you guys facing and stuff. And yeah, a lot of work is coming, and watch out and keep tabs on us. We'll definitely make another announcement with a new flow, probably a new video or something. But like yeah, definitely watch out for that. And yeah, catch us. Just like just watch. Just stay
join the
tuned.
Yeah.
Discord. I
Essentially.
think the
Yeah,
Discord is like
sure,
the
sure.
fastest way
Yeah,
to
the Discord is
or fastest
yeah,
means
Discord the
Fastest way
Discord
to
is
get the
the
latest updates, yes.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. We have like memes channel and stuff. So in case we're not all boring, so you can like have fun in the Discord and
Yeah,
like chat with other people and stuff. So I dropped the
absolutely.
Discord link in the chat.
Yeah. And I think very soon would have like a music recommendation channel on the Discord.
Yeah, that's that should actually be a channel. Like I actually forgot. That should definitely
What
be a
about
channel.
I think you're forgetting a set of people. You guys are forgetting a set of people. You want to guess?
What's that? What's that?
The set of the anime lovers.
Oh
For sure, for sure.
that would also make sense to have.
We are in the minority there, though. We're in the minority there, but like we can definitely create a channel for anime lovers.
Yeah, exactly. And then we could do like maybe a football band.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, definitely. That would be
This is
nice.
just
Like
basically
football banter
these are
channel.
just the excitements you guys can get from StreamToPeer. So yeah, so that's
like
part of it. It's part of it.
Yeah.
I think the football banter channel should actually be a channel. It should be a channel like right now, even like so that we can. Yeah, that's a nice idea for a channel. Definitely if having a football banter channel would be a nice idea.
Sure.
So,
So
yeah.
True thing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like 194 of you streaming us live right now from across platforms. We don't get like LinkedIn. We don't get LinkedIn stats, but I'm sure there's a lot of people streaming from there as well. So maybe over 200 at the moment streaming us right now. So you guys are like awesome, and we appreciate you all. Yes. So next, I also like looking forward for like these are Saturday streams. We'll be moving fully to StreamToPeer in a bit. So we'll be streaming from our own platform, and so that you can like see the power like and the might of StreamToPeer. But at the moment, since we're still building, we'll still be using StreamYard for now. But like in a bit, StreamToPeer will be the streaming platform we'll be streaming from. And you definitely get to catch us live. So
Awesome.
the second segment of our stream, we're building a state machine in JavaScript, a simple state machine Java's library in JavaScript, and we'll be using this Can See Dots article. Shout out to Can See Dots. He's an amazing like community personnel and like front end wise and stuff. So yeah, so
Yeah, I
like
think yeah, I think nowadays when I hear this name, when I hear Can See Dogs, I sort of like what comes to my mind first is like the music you released for React. So I watched
I
that
remember
video
that
and I was
song.
like, oh, this guy has to be so passionate for the technology. I mean, imagine having to sit down and like write a song for React.
Yeah. I
That's
mean that's amazing. It's actually on Spotify. You can check him out on Spotify. Like I went to
yeah,
jam the song, I was like, damn.
yeah, top guy for real, top guy.
Yeah, really like fun, amazing, like guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
if you have, yeah, sorry, if you have like
mhm.
maybe your junior ones that you want to like put into coding, be like, you know what, let me play you.
Can't see
Then you start
those.
dancing to React, yeah. That's how you fall in love with. Yeah, for real, but for real, I think the guy is an awesome guy. He has a community, a huge community, and it's
Yeah,
doing incredible. So
yeah,
kudos
yeah.
to him.
Epic. I think
Yeah,
epic devs or something. So an amazing community though, by the
yeah.
way. And he has like office hours and stuff that he streams to
Mm-hmm.
his YouTube um and Discord. You can actually join like really like really amazing and engaging community with led by him rather. Um
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so today we're like building a state machine. And yeah, what motivated this? Because I mean, we all like use states in one capacity or the other. If you're like a front end dev in general, or like I don't know if you're even if you like if you build software in general, like there's a time that will come when you like okay, be like you're building an application, you probably need to save some data somewhere because you need this in some other part of your application. So how are you managing that? How are you sharing that data from? How do you want one part of your application to know that something has changed in some other part of your
Yeah.
application? Um, State machine is basically like I like the fundamental building block for most state management solutions. In general, be it Zustand, be it the observer pattern, depending on the pattern
Mm-hmm.
that the state management solution or library uses, there has to be a state machine that sort of like makes it all come together to spread that to then like wrap your application and make sure your application is in sync to be able to like react or to be able to adapt to changes and everything. So we're like, why not like explore building one ourselves? And that led to this. So this is the first time we're doing this. We haven't actually rehearsed this somewhere or practiced. But like we'll be building this like um live. And you be like, watch us do this. So yep. So 1 hour was for like 1 hour was for STREAM2PEER, but now we're streaming uh us ourselves building a state machine. So let's get started.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, do you have the link to this? I mean I can share it in private chat.
Just send it to a private chat. I think it's
Yeah, I just sent it. Let me get my VS Code here. I'll need my terminal too because we'll be creating a new oh no new window. I need a new window. All right, yeah, this is it.
So there are a few comments in the chat. So open the video for me. This is really nice. Thanks, boss. We appreciate your support.
Yeah, shout out to all of you. You guys are awesome.
So let me open this real quick. Yeah.
Let me just open my terminal. Terminal. Put this on full screen. Yep. So back to the blog. I should just rearrange this real quick. So this should come here. So yeah, let's get started, right? Implementing a simple state machine library in JavaScript. 11 minutes read. The translations available. Oh, you can actually volunteer to add translations. That's amazing. I made a video about it too. So in case you want to watch it on Egged.io, Um, so it starts. If you're like me, the first time you heard the word state machine, you were a little intrigued, and as you dove deeper, you were more confused than when you started. I found that when I
Yeah.
hit that situation, writing my own implementation of the concept helped solidify the concept for me. So that's what we're going to do together. Yep, building to learn, always the way to learn new stuff. So I'm not going to take my time to try and explain state machines or their use cases. So, so you need to find other resources for that, and it links to other resources. So like a YouTube to explain what state machines is. Yeah, so like finite automata and state charts and everything. And this is like a really cool topic. Learn about finite state machines and non-finite state automata, and deterministic finite state automata. So they're like really cool stuff. We learned them in like last semester or last 2 semesters when we learned about like state machines. So I think it was last semester or last semester in school. So it's like computer science concepts when it comes to like state machines. I used to really like I didn't know there was even a talk for this. I'll probably watch this after this live stream. This would definitely be fun to watch. David Koshid, simplifying complex UIs with finance automata and state charts. Definitely be something cool to watch. So for that, So here it says here, I'm just going to go through what a simple state machine implementation might look like. I wouldn't recommend using this implementation in production, but I check out Xstate. So Xstate is Xstate. What is Xstate? So Xstate is a JavaScript state machine from what I'm seeing here. I was at GitHub. Actor-based state management and orchestration for complex app logic. So stately.ai.
And it just had like a push yesterday. I think it's very active.
Yeah, it's
Check the
super
last.
active. Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
The super active project. So actor-based state management orchestration. Oh, this is the David Kushid from the JSConf video. Oh, amazing. So Xstate is state management and orchestration solution with just kind of types it up. That's zero dependencies and it's useful for front-end and back-end application logic. That's amazing. Uses event-driven programming, state machines, state charts, and the actor model to handle complex logic in predictable, robust, and visual ways. Xstate provides a powerful and flexible way to manage application and workflow stable, allowing developers to model logic as actors and state machines. Oh wow, that's exciting. You should probably try Xstate in like a live stream, sort of see how that works out. And I'm seeing a lot of charts use case, like charts and stuff,
Yeah.
use case for it. Or some say like build like draw.io or something. Or if you're doing like an Escali draw or something like that. Oh, this is amazing. This is great. So it works in like Svelte, Vue, React, and you can write it in TypeScript. Like templates for them as well. Definitely watching this talk. So yeah, I found out when I hit that situation, I write my own implementation of the concept, I'll solidify the concept for me. So that's what I'm going to do. So you recommended using Xstate, but not using this implementation in this article in production. Of course. So there's a brilliant website, statecharts.github.io by Eric Morgensen. Sorry, I was supposed to control click that. Control click that, yeah. By Eric Morgensen. Welcome to the world of state charts. Here's the explanation. State chart is a drawing. Here's a simple on or off click. State charts. So this like dives deeper into like state machines. Well, state charts easier to understand than many forms of code. Standardizing. It's like for diagrams and stuff to like showcase state management, state chart examples. Okay. So it says where you can learn a lot about this concept called state charts. A state chart is basically a state machine, a few additional characteristics, and it's another thing I would recommend learning about. Thank you. Can see dots. So instead of that website, there's a page titled "What's the State Machine?" Um, what's the state machine? Oh, it said okay on the website in general. Is there like a page there? I don't see the page here. Though. Control. What is a state? Oh, I see it. Okay. What is a state machine? An abstract machine that can be exactly in one of a finite number of states at any given time. The FSM can change from one state to another in response to some external inputs. The change from one state to another is called a transition. Finite state machine is defined by a list of states, its initial states, and the conditions for each transition. And for that, state is a description of the status of a system that's waiting to execute a transition. Oh, that's actually a very nice technical definition for a state. A state is a description of the status of a system that is waiting to execute a transition. State machine is a visual depiction of such an abstract machine. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is awesome. Abstract machine versus runtime and the more concrete an object. There may be many executions. Often is mean both the abstract and runtime form. Or the runtime form sometimes as the qualifier run or execution, as in state machine execution or state chat run. Okay, this is like really nice stuff, like for you. So it says what state machine is, and that's where we are going to gather the parameters or requirements for our own state machine implementation. So here are some of those borrowed. Here are some of those borrowed from the site. It says one state is defined at the initial state when the machine starts to execute. It automatically enters this state, like as an initial state. So each state can define actions that occur when the machine enters or exits that state. So each state is sort of like tied to some sort of logic somewhere else. So actions should typically have that side effect based on whatever state transition that happens. So it says each state can define events that trigger a transition. A transition defines how a machine would react to the event. So by exiting one state and entering another state, so like sort of transition really, like based on reaction to an event, and based on reaction to an event that is based on whatever state that changes. Transition can define actions that occur when the transition happens. So actions typically have side effects. So also when an event happens, the event is checked against the current state transition. If a transition matches that event, that transition happens. This makes sense, right? Like, what do you think, Emmanuel?
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything, chap. But I mean, with me, most times is I sort of get to understand stuff with like actually practicing. But I think this last one actually makes sense. So the event is checked against the current state transition, right? So if the transition matches the event, so the event that is expected for state transition, if it matches, then the transition happens basically. It's just like a simple logic of you are expecting something, right? When this event happens. So once the event happens, it means transition happens. Else it doesn't. So it's kind of straightforward.
Yeah, exactly. So by virtue of a transition happening, states are exited and new states are entered, and the relevant actions are performed. So a counter implementation, you press a counter button. The state transition is that maybe you start from 0, which is your initial state.
Exactly.
You're going to 1.
Exactly.
You are leaving 0, but because of that button press, a state is supposed to be tied to that 0, so that when you press on that button, an event is triggered. Your application checks, is there anything that is tied to this button click that should happen? It finds that state, it reacts. So you leave 0, you come to 1. So
Exactly.
yeah, like it makes sense.
So you just finding like the right events that are tagged to maybe an action or something. So it just once it picks up that action, it triggers the transition, basically.
Yeah, exactly, essentially. So the machine immediately is in the new state, ready to process the next event. Whatever event happens, it just like picks it up and like, okay, let's run with this. So it says, okay, let's get started. Let's start with something simple, a toggle. So here's our initial code. Okay, so our machine. So I think we should start writing code now, so that we can follow along. So I'm going to like my terminal here. So cd desktop. What else? So make directory state machine test. Yeah, I'm just going to come and open that from here. I actually really need to set up this code dot. I haven't set it up still. So I'm going to desktop. Where is it? Yeah, right there. So I'm looking for state machine. That's st state machine test. Yeah. Right there. So take this out. My terminal, and back here. So let's get started with something simple. Let me increase my brightness here so I can like this enter my eyes. The toggle. So here's our initial code. So it starts by like writing a function that creates the machine. Obviously, you have to pass in the state machine's definition. There's a machine object, and then return the machine. Simple, because you're actually going to use that machine that's returned here, but you need some logic to happen here to create whatever machine, like some sort of parameters for that machine. Here's how we create the state machine. So you call the create machine, pass definition object here, and then see how we use it. So you create the state, call that machine dot value, and consider log the current state, and then the same state, because they're making it a let, so that you are able to like update that state as a normal variable. So you call it machine dot transition current state.
Switch.
Yeah, and then pass something called switch. So switch is probably supposed to mean like sort of an event that should happen based on this state.
Yeah.
So you consider log current state. Yes, exactly. Current state goes to on. Then a new state, you switch again, it goes back to off. So a simple toggle state. So let's work with this, I guess. Let me give you a live share. About have you seen this? Have you seen the link? Did you get the link? I don't know if I'm still audible. Did you get the link? Can you hear me, Emmanuel? Am I alone here? You're frozen though. Is it my network? If you're in the chat and you can still see me, could you like react? But I still think I'm live. I'm not sure. It looks like I'm live though. I think it's Emmanuel's network. Yeah, it sort of still looks like I'm live though. You're frozen. You're frozen though, if you can't hear me. But I'll wait while like fix your network, or like maybe refresh or something. So yeah, we're going to create the state machine. Passing the state machine definition. So a function essentially that takes in the state machine's definition, creates the machine's parameter and properties with this object that manages it, and then returns the machine object. We'll manage the state machine. We'll create the state machine by just like creating sort of an instance of it. Because I know using classes, we'll just call the function and pass in the object for the state machine's definition and everything. So that's what creates the object for us. and then machine.value. So like create a state, so like as a variable, like as every other normal state variable, call the machine.value, because that will be the value of whatever state we're currently working with. And the console log is just to show us that the current state. So this is we're working like a simple toggle state, just like between on and off. So switch it starts with off, because that's the initial state, the current state. You switch, it goes to on, switch back again, goes back to off. So like with a simple toggle. Like I don't know if you have been building applications, probably work with like building like a simple toggle state at some point in your application. Can you hear me now, Emmanuel?
Yeah, I'm trying to join the live pair, and it's still loading on my end though, or I'm not yet. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're trying to join the live share?
Yeah. That's what I'm doing, but still loading on my end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. I guess when I see the connection, I guess it's just connect or something. I need to work. Okay, so
Yeah.
Drake says he can hear us. Okay, I thanks, Chief. So yeah, amazing. So over 230 people watching us now. You guys are like really awesome. Thank you so much for being here live with us today. So yeah, building a state machine. So yeah, back to Gensido's article. So yeah, the state machine definition object. So we'll start by filling out our state definition. We'll start by filling out our state machine definition object, and then we can figure out how to make the state machine do what we want it to do with that information. Wait, let me see this. Let me try to like process this. So we fill out the state machine object with what we want it to do, and then we can figure out how to make the state machine do what we want with that information. So AGD, API driven development. So our state is defined as the initial. One state is defined as the initial state. When the machine starts to execute, it automatically enters that state. Somebody has a question. So he says, okay, Drex said, by the way, Chief, I have a question. I joined late, so maybe you've spoken about it before. But can you give a real life use case of a state machine, or is it similar to existing states? Yeah, like it is similar to existing state machine libraries. I mean, they sort of like build off of the idea. We're like reading up on state machines from this website, and then we got linked to like a real life application of what the state machine sort of works like. And state X states is sort of like a the right sort of like implementation of a real life use case of of a state machine. So I think according to what he mentioned, yeah, it works both on the front end and back end, and they have like templates for you to use Xstate. So from what I'm seeing here, so you like create the machine, passing some objects. Oh, I see. He's trying to like model. Can see those trying to like model what they have with Xstate. So you create the machine, sort of like a couple of details for that machine, and then you can create an actor, subscribe to listen to that state or something. You can start. These are like the initial states. You can sort of send, type, toggle, depending on that you react to it. So yeah, these are like this X state is like a real life application of what a state machine is. You can check out X states to see that working. But like other state management solutions are sort of like build off of the idea of a state machine, but they now expose APIs and hooks or functions or whatever that we now use in our own applications, just like manage states. And they also care about managing a machine of some sort. But there's still like nuances with like different state management patterns. There's obviously the observer like subscriber pattern. There's the event management pattern. There's the event-based pattern, and there's the flux pattern, which like things like Redux, Zostand, and a couple of other state management solutions use. So there's just like different patterns as well. These are like nuances based on like the whatever state management solution you go with, but essentially they still like leverage the base idea of a state machine and stuff. So API driven development.
Also,
Yeah. So are you back now?
yes, but I've not been able to connect. So I'm getting an error that session is offline. So I think we do need to like make share action before the stream because I think sometimes live share like kinds of breaks things up
Dampens
sometimes. So
the network.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. We can just like keep talking about it and build together, I guess. But maybe next time before streaming, we
Yeah,
should
yeah,
probably
yeah.
like try to connect. Next time before streaming, probably like try to connect our live share so that when we start, just like go to the editor and we don't have to worry about um stuff. Just like
Yeah, that's what
just
I
to be
was
safe and be
suggesting.
on that. Yeah.
Exactly. But you can go on. I'm with you. Yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned API driven development, and then he said one state is defined as the initial state. When a machine starts to execute, it automatically enters the state. So it says simple enough, we'll have the user provide us with what the initial state value should look like. So we're working with a simple toggle kind of vibe. So we'll create an initial state here with by setting the initial state to off for our toggle. So set the initial state to off. I'm so much looking forward to run this in our machine object. Uh, yep. And then now we'll probably want to have a definition for our states as well. So we want like an off and an on state to determine, okay, what does an off state mean and what does an on state mean? But we know the initial state is off as a string. So now we'll pass in the off and on objects. This is actually like kind of intuitive, and I'm like getting to the spirit of like following with the flow. But I mean, of course, it's yeah, uh, never built one before, but like it's like exciting and sort of like clicking together. So it says, okay, great. On to the next. Each state can define actions that occur when a machine enters or exits that state. Actions will typically have side effects. This is exciting. I like this. What do you think, Emma?
Wait, can you take that? Can you take that line again?
So it says each
Each
state
state
can
can
define.
define action that occurs. Okay, when a machine enters or exits that state, action will typically have side effect. So does okay, wait. Okay, so the actions are like tied to each state, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so each state have like an action that defines what happens when I don't know, yeah, that decides what happens when he enters or it's the machine. Okay, makes sense. Let me see this example. So create machine initial state off. So off. Okay, we have actions on enter, on exit.
On
Okay,
exit. Mm-hmm.
yeah, on action.
So this.
Oh, I think I get. Okay, it makes sense now. Makes sense. So
So this
based
object.
on what, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, go on. Like based on what the state is set to, they have like actions that I mean that are going to be triggered on maybe probably on enter or on exit. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And like I love the way it sort of like breaks it down to like sort of help you conceptualize the ideology. Because this
Mm-hmm.
great machine object is sort of like this great machine sort of like takes a metadata for everything that you want. Oh, have I been putting the code in the wrong place? Yes, I have. My bad. But yeah, that's what I noticed. I just like noticed that we've been passing like actual values. So yeah, I'm just going to move all of this out. Yep, I'm going to move all of this out to stay inside my create machine function because that is where we are actually creating the machine, which is here. Yeah, so we're sort of like giving a metadata for our own machine to be created as a machine so that we can leverage and sort of like use it. So everything we pass so far are just like definitions for what the state is,
Yeah.
how the state should react to maybe whatever events or what functions are running depending on the current state that the state is in. So initially it's on off state, so these two would run. So we are now going to figure out the logic of like taking it to an on state, how that should happen. Switch is probably going to mean something to the machine because there needs to be a transition for you to go from one state to another, and then maybe from that one back to the other. I mean, we're doing a toggle, so it's sort of like a one or zero.
Yeah. So, quick question. That I was curious. The switch that we added there, are we defining it as part? I mean, as part of the machine, or?
Yeah, it will be part of the machine because transition would be its own function that the machine would leverage. So yeah, the machine would have its own transition function to determine how the state is like essentially moving from one condition to the other. So what condition would determine what condition would determine you being in an off state? What condition would determine you being in an on state? So
Makes sense.
So yeah, create machine. Enter on exit. Put console or logs there, just like let you know that this action is currently running and stuff. So you can just put that here. Put this here. So this should be on exit. Yeah.
On exit.
Yep. So it should be on. And to be on enter on exit, just console logs on enter and on exit. Sorry, exit, not exist. So yeah, it says okay. So now what's next? So it says each state can define triggers, can define events that trigger a transition. So each state should now, yeah. So each state now cannot define those events that should trigger a transition. So transition doesn't just trigger itself. There has to now be an event that will make it trigger. So I sort of like right now custom events that we are listening for. So in this case, I'm guessing that will be switch because we're listening for a switch event, and transition is sort of like an event handler that sort of just listens to that switch event, determines it knows what state you are currently in, and it just sort of like goes to whatever state you want it to be. All of that logic will sort of be handled in your transition for whatever state you are in. So either off or on. You're going to add these transitions to both of them. So like if you are tracking the metadata we've been adding so far we have actions. Now we're adding transitions to each of the objects. So we have transitions here and we have transitions here for each of the states. So it says the off state should be able to transition to the on state, and we call that event switch, like I said. Then the on state should be able to transition to the off state as well. And it makes sense to call that switch as well. Because it's a toggle. So let's add a switch property to our transitions object. So add a switch property to each of our transitions objects. Essentially just calling what Kenzie does have here. Has here. Exactly.
Makes sense.
Sorry, my bad. This should be inside here.
Inside, yeah.
So now we have so now the machine we are creating is like having like so much metadata to like work with. So it says suite, and the next one, a transition defines how a machine would react to the event by exiting one state and entering another state. So what are the reactions? What are the reactions that should happen, like in that process? Okay. So I think that we can specify a target for our transition event, and when that event comes around, our machine will transition us from the current state to the target state. I mean, this sort of makes sense. We are building a simple toggle state. There can only be two states for you to target in one place. If you are in an off state, targeting on. If you're in an off state, you're targeting on. Yeah, if you're in an on state, you're targeting off. Yeah. You want to say something?
Yeah. I was saying like the kinds of like the way the metadata are arranged, like the structure just follows like a simple. I mean, this one is just for this use case. I mean, we're just struggling. But maybe when we have like a more complex logic, I mean, maybe we might have to like add more of this methodology.
I
What do you
agree.
think? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree because this is just a simple toggle where it was showcasing like a simple example
Yeah.
just to like show you how that is being handled. For a more complex situation, you would typically want to run you typically want to run like add more targets, maybe for an increment counter. For example, you probably want to target like an increment event or targets like if you're in a current number, you should not be in that number again, you should go to another number, and stuff like that. Or if it's a decrement and stuff. Yeah, so we're targeting on or off now. Um, so I'm getting this error from JavaScript. So it's saying there's a comma expected. But from where though? Between transitions. Where is that? This is off. Okay, I'm not closing off. Okay, off should actually be closed. Then a comma. But I'm still getting the error though. Is on being closed? Yeah, on is closed.
I think you
Grace
need one more
machine.
to close create machine.
Actions, transitions. Transition is being closed. Switch is being closed. On is
I think
being
it's create
closed.
machine. Create
Create machine, yeah.
Yeah, it's not being closed.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Track that down.
Yeah.
So yeah, we added the targets in for like both of them. So cool. So when our state machine is in the off state and we call machine.transition state switch, then it should call off instantly. It should transition from the off state to the on state because that's what we're targeting. And then it's go and look at the on enter or on exit logic
On exit.
that I've written there.
Yeah.
To determine what should happen. And so it said, yeah. She said, all right, let's check out the last one for the definition. She said a transition can define actions that occur when transition happens. Actions will typically have side effects. So based on that, our state enter or exits can have actions. Our actions, our state enter or exits can have actions, and our transitions can have actions too. At first, when I read this, I was confused because it felt like two ways to do the same thing. Yeah, but if you remember that in more reward state machines, there can be many ways to enter a state, and maybe we want some side effect to happen only when transitions to state A from a specific state B, but not from state C. That makes sense. Actually, let me take some time to process this.
So what is it kind of saying that for each transition, right? You are trying to like, I don't know, track from where you are coming from and where you are transitioning into.
Yeah, because you need to have information about the current state. Yeah.
So you sort of have like different side effects based off of where you're coming from, where you're headed.
Yeah. And even for the transition that happens, there could be a side effect happening while that transition is happening.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that makes sense. They said, let's add an action to our transition object and we'll put a console log in there to keep track of it later. So yeah, so you said we're adding this action object to our transition switch. So after on, so we're also adding an action function here. So it says transition action for switch in off state and transition action for switch in on state as well.
On state, yeah.
Okay. So it says excellent. We fleshed out the API for the state definition object. Now let's implement what happens when transition is called. So now handling transitions. When a user wants to create a machine, we've already specified this as the API. So you don't need to look too far. Create the machine. You call a value from the machine. And in this case, our own value is just I'm guessing initial states. Or is there a value object we're still supposed to add? I'm guessing the way we need to actually add one. So that when the user calls machine.value, it gives them a value, which is the current state. And machine.transition transitions them from a current state based on whatever event but it's in transition. It could be a click,
Event that
it could be a
triggered.
switch,
Yeah.
it could be a drag, it could be a I don't know, tap or something. But in this case, it's a switch, which is our own custom event. So technically, we could make our state machine default the current state to machine.value. But I like the idea of transition accepting the current state from the user. For the current state to machine.value. But I like the idea of transition accepting the current state from the user. And this is what xstate does. So that's what we'll go with. So you can actually like just use the machine.value that exists in our machine and just like be manipulating that directly. But it's better if you are able to sort of pass in the current state of your machine, of your application directly to the machine, so that it knows where you're coming from, what actions you want to be triggered, and stuff like that. So, and this is what xstate does. So we'll go with it. So here's what we'll need for our initial implementation of create machine. So we already have this, and now it takes in a value. So it states machine definition dot initial state, and now the transition will take in the current state. Transition function is supposed to take in the current state and whatever event, and it's supposed to return machine.value, which is that. I mean, this is for like a base case. I mean, initially when we run this, we should like get off when we do like a console.log. But when we now call transition, we should probably go to off to on and stuff. So we'll add this here. For our current states, and then we'll transition to an event based on an event, then we'll return the machine's value. That makes sense. I should I zoom this in?
You can close the tab on it.
Yeah. So now it says remember current states would be something like off or on in our case. An event would be switch for our toggle example. Yeah, we remember that. That makes sense. So it says great. Now let's go down the list and implement things one by one. Okay, the event is checked against the current state transitions. Makes sense. So it says, all right, let's grab the transitions object and determine the destination transition. So we're grabbing this transition object, which is state machine definition of with the current states, and our destination transition is current state definition dot transitions based on that event. So we're just like using it to like type check whatever we have in like our state machine definition object, which was the object we passed in, if you remember from here. So we're just taking, so we're passing the current state and events. So passing current state, we use that to get the current state definition from our state machine object, which should be this initial state. And then because I'll be switching based on whatever. I think we still need to pass in the current state like object here, or maybe we're leveraging this initial state to be our current state.
I think we're leveraging the initial state for now.
And then current state definition dot transitions. Yeah, exactly. And then current state definition dot transitions. So we're calling a transitions function based on the event. So we already have our events defined here, which is switch. So we'll just check the transitions object and call switch depending on whatever the state we are in will determine which of them which of these transitions we would call based on states, that is, because we're already passing our state here. So check the states based on the state we change transition, check the switch, and determine which action we are running and stuff. So we return the machine dot value. Okay, I guess this makes sense. So we're taking this pass that in here. Are they returning the value? Yeah, still returning that. So just like passing this to up here. I should definitely read this. Can return after I return. Yeah. Yep. So is this being used somewhere? Because why? It's being used here. So current state definition. We use this to actually grab the current state first. That makes sense. So based on that current state, we'll not check the transitions. So now determine what
event.
Yeah, and grab that event for that current state. So either off or on based on these two guys. So that makes sense. And then we'll return the machine still. That still stays. So to be clear, the destination transition at this point for our off to on transition would be this. So remember we declared this here. Since we're in off, this is what we are targeting.
Yeah.
So just start switch, which is what we wrote here in our code. Yeah, we get that. We get that, I think. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
So it says here, we successfully accessed the transition information for this current state plus event combo.
Event combo.
So if a transition matches the event, that transition happens.
Transition happens.
Okay.
So I think, yeah. Well, okay, wait. We have. Okay.
Current state definition, grab transitions objects, and then passing the events as passing, which is switch. So we just check that switch, and that gives us whichever of these based on whatever states we are in, which we are passing as current state from here.
Current state.
Which is just state machine definition, and based on whatever current state we're in. I think this makes sense actually. It's like creating like a store of some sort. It just like reminds me of like ZooStand or something, but like I'm creating like a sort of like store definition, and we're like defining how it should react. I mean, we're not like, I mean, in ZooStand, we're not going bare bones like here, but here we're like going like into the depths of like defining the actions, defining the transitions, defining how to grab the specified transitions based on an event that is based on the current state of the machine and stuff, which I think is very great. Deep down, which I think is very great and bare bones sort of like explanation. So he said if there's no definition transition, return, just like do nothing, because obviously like we need a transition to actually go from one state to another. So we just add that here.
So I think when you are going with like a transition, since our state machine already has access to like the current state, so it just checks it against whatever events that you pass to determine what actions it's going to be on. I think it actually makes sense now.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, definitely. So it says by virtue of a transition happening in quotes, states are exited and entered, and the relevant actions are performed. So you leave a state or you enter a state based on whatever transition that is happening, and we've already attached events to those states, so they must happen as you are either entering or leaving a state. Those things must happen. Yeah. So it says, okay, so we need to call the action for the transition. The on exit for the current state and the on enter for the next state. So it said, okay, so we need to call the action for that transition. The on exit for the current state, because that needs to happen. Yeah, because you are leaving a state. And the on enter for that next state needs to happen. So that we also, so that we also need to get destination state definition as well. So we need to know which state we are going to. So like destination state, we just destination transition dot target for us to know what state we are entering. And const, because we already hard coded that here. Remember, we like hard coded the destinations. Targets. Off can only have one target, on can only have one target. Because it's a toggle state. So we grab that target and then we grab the definition based on that target. So we use that target to know what should happen. So based on that, we would now call destination transition dot the action for that state. Current state definition dot actions dot the on exit for the current state, and destination states definition dot actions dot the on enter. So that states.
New state,
This is so clean and straightforward. So we're just like calling stuff. That'll be after this. Destination state definition. We need to define that, declare that actually. Yeah, my bad. So we need to declare the definition state. And yeah, it is. And we need to also, because we're grabbing that from like the targets of the current state, from the destination transition, like I mentioned. So just grab that target to know what is happening. Destination state definition, call the state manager definition again based on this destination state, and use that to know what actions should be performed for that destination state, and also use that to know and use the current state definition to perform the on exit of the current state, and use that to also perform and while that is happening, after that happens, use that to perform the destination states on enter action. Um, mhm. I think this makes sense. And you remember when we like sort of like listed out the actions um, and listed out what action should be performed during the transition. If you remember this is just calling this destination state transition is just calling that transitions. And that transition for the destination state has its own action attached to it. So we're calling this. And then from that, we're also calling this. And from in that before this happens, we are calling this for the off state. So we'll see those console logs going off in our terminal. So yeah, so it says we're also returning machine.value. I mean for the current state of the machine, so that you see what the state is. Yeah, it makes sense. I'll return the machine objects for you. That's like log and see everything that's going on in the machine. So and finally, the machine is immediately in the new state, ready to process the next event. So we've got to update the machine's value, which is the target for the transition, which we've assigned to the destination state variable. So we need to update the machine's value, which is the target. But we already know the machine's value. We just need to like notify the machine and override and update this value variable. So that this value variable is sort of in sync with the machine. But we've already actually like made the transition happen. The states are like updating as they should. We just need to update this value that's in the machine to know that okay, this is where we are at now, and you should like follow along to know what state we are in. I mean, after all these actions have been performed. So yes, so we just call this here and call this on enter of the new state. So just set the new destination state to be that value. And all together, so it says all together, all right, so here's the whole thing. Like you mentioned, creating the initial state, define the transition function, transition function definition for what should happen from our own machine, get the current states based on whatever is passed in here. Go to destination transition for where you are going to, and based on transitions and the events. Yeah, and the events passed in, which is switch. And switch, like if you remember, switch is part of the transitions for an object, and we have the targets hard coded, so they can only go from one place to another, which we already know. Yeah. In the destination transition, nothing should happen because we need to transition to a new state for us to actually have a transition in the first place. There has to be a new state for us to have a transition in the first place. So destination states, we grab that target, know where we are going to. Destination state definition, we grab the destination states definition from the state machine's definition, where we already know what destination state is. So we just use to find it. We call that destination states transition. We call the action that's there, that should happen. Then we call the storing states on exit action, call the next on enter action, then we set the value and return the machine.value so that we know what the new state value is. And this is us passing the object for our machine. Initial state we know is off, and as an on toggle and on off, on enter, and everything for the actions of the state. We have the transitions for that state, the switch action that we're listening for that should be performed, which we are calling the targets, and we're also using the action here as well. Same for the on state. So now let's so now it says if you have to pop that up in your Chrome DevTools, here are the logs you get. So get the current state, a transition for transition happens for switching off states to come to this on exit state. We'll enter the new state, call the on we call this state, and transition action for switching on state, and exit the state again, enter a new state, and I set the current state back to off. Yeah. So he said definitely from you. And if you like to keep diving into stuff, so that give Stats chance to GitHub look, and David Koch should a follow. So I can definitely like dive deep like by reading this up and like seeing more like information on that page. Give David Koch a follow on Twitter. You can just like check him out. Yeah, I actually already follow him. Like an amazing guy. And then what was I looking for? And then he's on a personal mission to make state machines more approachable and is responsible for my own interest in the concept. Good luck. So let's run this actually. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So node index JS. Oh yeah, it happened.
Nice. Nice. So
Once they started with off.
Transition action.
Yeah, go ahead.
Switch. Yeah. I mean, like the way it brings the whole breakdown sort of makes sense. So transition action for switch in off state. So on exit, console logs that one out. Yeah. And on enter also. So current state is now set to on, and transition action for switch in on state. So it triggers the on exit for the on state, and for the on state it triggers on enter, and the current state is set back to off. As simple as
Yeah, voila.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have a simple state machine. This is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this actually, it actually gives that, I mean, that foundational knowledge basically be able, as you said, so you're able to like, like what transaction goes on under the hood, right? With like within the state machine basically. So it's actually awesome. But I'm trying to see how this would look like if we were to like add more complicated state logic, a more complex state basically, how this would look like. But I mean, with this alone, I think it sort of gave me that understanding of how everything pieces together like works and then
I agree because I mean we use state a lot, right? But we don't actually care. We're just like, oh, this should happen when this happens, this should happen when this happens. Maybe it triggers a render and React and everything. But it sort of like delineates like everything that I think of states as and tying it to a framework. It now gives you states like as its own sort of state as like its own sort of would I say entity, and like makes you think about states deeply, like, okay, this is how state should happen. How does it? This is how a transition must be involved for you to have a state update. And there's probably some events tied to that state update. Maybe you are changing a theme in your browser. I mean, or a theme of your application. Maybe you are changing maybe you want the button to be increased. Or maybe you want an animation sort of thing to happen, or something like that. Maybe based on scroll or something. So there's an event causing an event to happen, and there's an event that happens after that state happens, because you are leaving one state and sort of like entering a new one, and that one sort of had its own events bound to it and stuff.
Yeah. So you kind of have like functions that represent like consequence of leaving a state or entering into a state. So all those things also have to like.
I agree.
Yeah, and also there's like a check also, like there has to be like a destination transition. So it makes sense that you are leaving a particular state into another new state, right? So you are not just leaving and there's no destination. Where does that state goes? Where does that state go into? So all this logic has to be like there for like the state machine to be able to process these things well and output the right and give the right outputs basically.
Yep. So I made a GitHub repo for it. I would have been a GitHub gist for this entire code, but I went to create the repo because I don't know. But I get GitHub just can actually like satisfy the purposes where you can just have it in like a single place. I guess that's much better. But eventually, maybe in the future, we could actually morph this into a full states library. Who knows? I mean, that could live on a repo, and then maybe in the future, it's like, okay, let's build that a state management library. Just like use the existing code and sort of like build off of it and build something bigger or something. Yeah, who knows? Maybe build a state management solution for Stream2PEER.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and I like. I think I will check out the David video.
Article.
Yeah.
David Koshid,
He
yeah.
also had a
I'm definitely
video,
watching that.
David Koshid, yeah. So I think because they mentioned that, I mean, the state management solution works for both back end and front end use case. So I think it's something I'm going to give a look at. Yeah, like you said, who knows?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I agree. I agree 100% with you on that. Um, but yeah, that definitely like concludes our live stream for today. 2 segments. Thank you so much, you guys, for like staying to like the very end. Over 260 people watching us live right now. This is like mind blowing. You guys are like awesome for staying to the very end, and we appreciate you all for staying
and Jumo
with us to the very end of this. And yeah, join our Discord because that's where we are vibing now, and that's where we stay now. Just chilling code, listen to music, talking about features. We'll be using the general channel more and more as we progress. Maybe we just once in a while we'll just be chilling there and writing code, sharing my screen, or maybe Emmanuel or Jumo. We'll just be sharing our screen and writing code. You can join in and just like chat with us and be like, oh, what are you working on? And stuff. Just like in the spirit of open source. Yeah, we actually did it. I was mind blown. I still keep saying I kept saying it for like 100 times, like in the chats. Like we actually did it. We actually did it because we actually did do it. So, so I'm excited for what's to come next, and stay with us and stay tuned. I'm going to pass the mic over to the guys now so that they can talk. I've been talking for a long time.
Yeah. So I think now we've done like what we've done now is like the basic foundation we need like to get started. So most of the work we'll be doing now, as I said earlier, will be like community centric. So we'll be needing you guys support. So that's why we're like pushing for you guys to join the Discord and also have a say in how Stream2PEER should work. And just come and like watch us do stuff basically. I'm looking forward to the couple of weeks, months ahead. As we'll be doing like a lot of code shilling, like we'll be adding features, fixing bugs. So it's a lot, but yeah. I'm hyped and pumped for this, ready to go. So yeah. That's it for me. And thank you guys here.
All right, Jumo, any closing statements?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, sure. So to everyone that joined the call, thank you very much for joining. And this is just the very start of a great thing we're like working on and building in the next couple of weeks. So you guys should watch out and stay tuned. So you guys should also join the Discord channel as well, so you can be able to drop your issues. As well, like we're also entertaining, like if you have like ideas you would want us to implement in the Stream2PEER platform, as long as it corresponds with the mission of the platform, of course we are going to love to have that as well. So that's basically the idea of open sourcing the project. You bring in your ideas, we are able to like listen to it, and if it's something that we want to work with, of course we'd love to implement that as well. So thank you very much, and thanks to my team, Ima and Toby. Yeah, great guys. All right, cheers.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone. Catch you same places next time, next week. Have a fun weekend. Don't be like us.